Fight Hype here with Peter Manfredo Sr. Your fighter Jesse Brinkley, successful tonight. One-sided fight. What was the main part of the strategy in your training camp?
Basically, stayed based off fundamentally sound, using that jab. The jab kept him off balance for the majority of the evening, and whipped behind the jab. I kind of knew that he was going to run, and so we whipped on cutoff punches and stepping over and whipping like that. But I mean, I'm satisfied with the job that Jesse did. It was a great night.
Yeah, he made comments in the local newspapers about that he felt Joey was going to run. Who did you have in sparring, and what was the main factor in the cutting off of the ring, especially that created the knockdown?
Well, the cutoff punches that you whip behind the jab with the cutoff punches. If he's moving to his left or your right, you throw the wide right to the body or the wide right to stop him. And if he's moving to his right, your left, you throw your hook off your jab, and then you throw the right hand down the middle. And we worked on that stuff. He basically sparred with Edwin Rodriguez. He's 9-0. He's an up-and-comer from, I train him. He sparred with Thomas Followo, a tremendous amateur from New England area. Peter Manfredo Jr., Elvin Ayala, a world title challenger. And there was about 6 or 7 other guys that we threw in here and there. And he broke a couple of guys' ribs in the gym. But he whipped and trained hard. He dedicated himself.
What was it with his experience and maybe coming into a big fight like that? You can't. A lot of fighters, for some reason, abandon the strategies that got them there. Where Joey changed the strategy and Jesse kept. It was the same old Jesse that fought, except he came in better shape and then he was prepared. Well, how important was it for him to stick to what he does best?
Well, my main thing is when I start training my people is the best punch in boxing is the jab. And it gets you out of trouble. It sets up your opponent. It keeps your opponent off balance. See, Joey couldn't really come forward. Every time he tried to come forward, he was eating jabs. He was running into Jesse's jab, and I continuously told him to double up on it, double up on it, double up on it. And that's what made the fight easy, the jab. So I mean, you do drills in the gym with the jab, and I'm constantly on my fighters with their jab. And I wouldn't let him get out because every round I kept telling him, keep doubling up the jab. Stay focused. Don't let the crowd take you out of this fight.
Yeah. He was in training for this fight already, and he got offered a fight with Lucian Bute for a world title. Do you think that coming off of this performance that he'll get that kind of offer, and would you take it now?
I'm sure we'll take, if the money's right, we'll take anything. It's a business. It's all about making money. And I don't know if it's Lucian Bute, he's a southpaw. We get the right spot on him. But I'm sure there's other guys out there that we can fight that it's a better match in styles. I really don't like to fight southpaws if I don't have to with my guys. But if it's a necessity, then we'll do it. But then again, like I say, it's all about business. It's all about the financial part of the contract.
Yeah, and then Joey, for a big fight, he brought a less experienced cornerman after Dan Birmingham had been working with him. How do you think that affected him, or how important would it be for a fighter to stick with what got them to that point?
Well, I mean, I'm not here to talk about anybody's corner people. It's not fair to anybody, but the person he did have in the corner was mostly an MMA guy, not a boxing guy. So Birmingham is one of the top trainers, or was one of the top trainers. I worked against him when my son fought Lacey. He knows his stuff, and so whatever happened between them two guys is it's too bad for Joey. So I don't know what to say, but what can I say? I don't really want to talk about anybody.
Yeah, and your credentials now. You have Jesse. Who else do you have in camp?
I have Peter Jr. getting ready for March in Virginia. I have Edwin Rodriguez getting ready for I think it's March in Worcester, Mass. I have Jesus Cairo getting ready probably for March. One of Jimmy Birchfield's cards. I got Richard Jingers getting ready for MGM Grand Foxwoods in 2 weeks for the Contender Show. So I'm pretty busy, and I got a lot of my amateurs getting ready to whip.
Yeah, in the last, I believe, year or two, you've been working with Jesse. When Jesse came and approached you, what was it about him that you looked for that made you take on that project of taking over his training?
Well, what I like about Jesse is his desire to work and his desire to be successful. Jesse's a hard worker and he has power, and he comes away from his family for like sometimes 5-6 months at a time. And stays them out, and that's what you have to do. You have to sacrifice. I mean, he leaves his family, he leaves his kids, and he works. You know, he runs 5 miles a day. You know, he spars 4 days a week, sometimes 5. He diets correctly. So I mean, at one time he didn't, but now you know he knows what it's going to get him, and he did it for 6 fights in a row. And I mean, you know, we've been hot, him and I, and we just have a good repertoire. So now he's going to have a big money fight.
Yeah. Any closing thoughts on tonight?
Just want to thank Fight Hype because it's one of the top internet sites on there for boxing, and keep up the good work. And I'd like to thank all the fans that came out tonight to cheer us on.
So thanks a lot. Good luck to you guys.